Hello, beautiful creatives. Welcome to Beginner's Mind, Art Mind. I'm Linda Marcille, and my desks are such a mess that I'm going to have to take some time to completely clean them off before I can film for you this week. But I wanted to show you what I'm up to before I clean them off. So I'm starting a little early with the recording. Last week I showed you that vintage set of watercolor Dr. P.H. Martin watercolors that I got, and that they had belonged to a famous set designer, scenic designer, and also the new set of Paul Rubens that I got. Well, a few of you said in the comments you really wanted to see them swatched out. So this week I'm going to swatch these out for you, but I'm going to start by showing you a little bit of what I've been up to in the studio. I've been in this really big experimental phase that I've really been enjoying, so I reopened my Patreon because I'm putting more of the more expressive experimental videos over there, and I'll do my more standard videos on YouTube. What I probably will end up doing is doing 1 week where I publish a YouTube video, the next week I'll publish a Patreon video, and see how that works with my energy levels going back and forth. So I'm so blessed that so many of you have come back into Patreon already. It feels like old home week, seeing you all come back and talk to each other. And there's the community section where you guys can upload your own artwork in post there. So that's fun. And it's really nice to be back together. I just need to find a way to do it all within the container of the energy that I have available due to my chronic illness. So we'll figure it out. It just may take me a little while. But I'm going to flip this around and show you both of my desks because my studio is so full, and then I'm going to make some room to do this swatching for you. And I'm excited to see how these vintage Dr. P.H. Martin watercolors come out. One of my viewers in last week's video told me that the radiant line, so there's two different lines here. One is the radiant and one is the synchromatic, but she told me that the radiant are dye based and that it's good to keep them out of sunlight. So, and that would make sense where he was a scenic designer. You know, his plans, it wouldn't matter if they were dye based, and illustrators and scenic designers I think tend to use the dye based. But I had these sitting right underneath my big window and the sun was pouring in on them. So thank you so much for that tip that I should keep them out of the sun. But I'm really curious to see how those come out. And this new line of new generation of Paul Rubens. I need to unwrap all of these. This is where I really wish I had a studio assistant so I could start filming and she could be unwrapping all of these little cubes in the background. But I need to unwrap those, and then if there's time, I will swatch both of these out. I'm going to start with the Radiant watercolors though. Okay, let me flip the camera around, give you a tour of this cacophony of experimentation that's going on. So in continuing the drawing with ink and stick, these are some experiments that I've been doing, and I've been making notes about what mediums I used and anything else that I added to these. So this is a video that will be coming up on Patreon because I'm going to film a demo of doing one of these. So far I've just been doing the experiments and making notes of what I've been doing, and next I'm going to do a demo that I'm going to film, and then that will be an upcoming video on Patreon. Also, in line with my experimentation, I have a ton of plant material here, and last week I showed you the tiny little jelly plates that I got. So I have been jelly printing all kinds of jelly prints. Now I haven't filmed it yet because I've just been sort of experimenting, but these have been so much fun. And I've been experimenting with printing on deli paper, on tissue paper, on book paper, and then eventually what I'm going to do is make a video on this. I will make a video where I show the creations that I've made and how I used them on YouTube, and I will do a process video of actually making some of these Geli prints on YouTube. So there's some of the plant material I'm pressing because I couldn't use it right away. But I love some of these prints, are so cool. Really, really fun. This one's another favorite of mine. Love these color combos, especially on the book pages. Yeah, so these have been a lot of fun to do. And then I'll show you what my desk looks like. This is what I have to clean up so that I can go ahead and do some color swatching for you guys. But some more prints over here. I've been using Golden Open. I love that the way that they're printing on these old book pages. That's just been coming out really, really good. And these are the two little Geli plates that I showed in last week's video. I haven't tried the round one yet. Mostly I've been working with the rectangle one, but let me get my desk cleared off so I can swatch these two items for you and get this video made so that I can get it up, edited and up in time on Friday. Okay, before I get started, someone asked in last week's video, I think it was, oh no, in the video where I made the watercolor inks, I think it was, they asked what that color was that I loved but didn't know what it was in this little palette. So I did some testing, and it's Daniel Smith's Perylene Green, P-E-R-Y-L-E-N-E, and it's a gorgeous color. I absolutely love it. So I'm glad I figured out what that was. I'm using my Painter's Color Diary, which was a gift from one of my viewers, and 100% cotton paper, 9x12, has 10 removable sheets with glassine interleaving, 140-pound cold press. So I've pre-labeled all of the colors. I used an asterisk for the synchromatic transparent watercolors. The bulk of these are the Dr. P.H. Martin's Radiant Concentrated Watercolor. So the few that, let's see, 1, 2, 3, I think there's only 3 of them. I just marked it with an asterisk so I would know what was what. So when I got to the estate sale and she showed me these, unfortunately, they had been sitting out in the sun and a lot of these rubber stoppers had melted, so I had to buy new ones to replace them. But on some of the colors, especially the reds, the liquid had like boiled out of them from the sun, or it had been brought to the surface and leaked. You can kind of see on the box, the reds leaked all over the tray and down into the tray. I don't know why it only happened on the reds. It's kind of odd, but so some of the reds had a lot of sediment in the bottom. I don't know if you can see that in this light. There's a lot of sediment down there in the bottom, and I added some distilled water to them to see if I could revive it. So this isn't a really true test of what these colors are, because some of them have been adulterated by adding water and by having the original watercolor leak out. Also, I would like to say that occasionally when I do swatching, it's actually why I stopped doing swatching for a while, someone comes on very upset because I haven't given pigment numbers. But I just want to remind you that this is a channel that encourages you to develop a creative practice to cope with life's difficulties using the expressive arts. I do a wide range of topics on this channel, and I don't dive real deep into art materials. So I'm going to swatch these out just for fun, it's not a real deep dive. I'm not going to get into pigment numbers. Lindsay, the Frugal Crafter, is great at that. Dr. Otto is great at that. There are channels out there that cover that way better than I could ever cover that. So try to go easy on me with the criticizing about, you know, how I might have done this swatching wrong, because it's not going to be perfect, because the watercolors are vintage, have sat out in the sun, and some have had distilled water added to them. So I appreciate your understanding in advance. Okay, let's see. This one had a lot of sediment stuck in the bottom, so I'm going to kind of swirl it. I don't know if that's the right thing to do, if it's going to break up. But there's a lot of stuff stuck down there. Wow. And now it's floating around inside there. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. Just an experiment. He passed away in 2017. So I'm imagining that these are probably from you know, the 90s or 80s, when his career was really active. I would imagine they're from the 70s, 80s, or 90s, because that is when he was really active in his career. I may not get this set and the Paul Rubens set done in this video. We'll see. I'll try. These actually remind me of my silk painting dies. Very much remind me of my silk painting dies. Wow. Yeah. Now that had some sediment in it because I shook it. I mean, I scraped it off the bottom, so maybe I won't do that anymore. Maybe I'll just see what is in the other ones. Yeah, that sediment kind of came off on there. All right, so the next one I will just I have 2 containers of water, probably out of camera, so that I can clean my brush a little better. This one is Daffodil Yellow. And this one did not, oh yeah, it does have sediment in the bottom, but I'm not going to mix it in this time. Let's see what it looks like if I just leave the sediment on the bottom. Yeah, these are so strong. They remind me very much of my silk painting dies. Okay, the next one is Hooker's Green. Now this is one of the synchromatic transparent ones. I'm probably going to run out of cups at some point, but we'll see. They're such vibrant colors. My goodness. Okay, Hooker's Green, synchromatic. It's interesting though, because my silk dyes, I have some silk dyes that are very old, and they would not solidify on the bottom like that. So it makes me think that there is some pigment in these. And because what is solidifying on the bottom? Like, I can show you bottles of some silk dyes that are quite old, a couple of decades old at least, and they don't ever get sediment on the bottom. Wow, gorgeous colors. Okay, what are we on next? Nile green, which is another synchromatic transparent color. I don't know, if the bottles are so dark in this light, you're probably not able to see the colors in the bottle, but the bottles are really beautiful. That brightly colored dye in there. Wow, that is a bright green. We had doctor's appointments today, and I had an iced coffee on the way back from the doctor's appointment, so I would have the energy to make this video. And ooh, did it make my hands shaky. I'm not filling these in very neat, but gosh, what gorgeous colors. Wow. I could see why an illustrator would use these. Okay, we're back to the Radiant Concentrated. And this is olive green. Wow, there's a big chunk on in that. I could try not shaking them to not stir up any sediment, but I feel like we might not be getting the full color if I did that. Oh, this is a gorgeous color. This is my kind of color. Love it. These are just little condiment cups that somebody gave me. A church we used to go to used to use them, and then they didn't use them. Okay, now there's a flake of red that got mixed into that somehow. And it's showing. Oh, I hope I'm not sticking my head under the camera. This is a bit of a different setup for me. Gosh, I'm being so sloppy, you guys. My back is kind of hurting too, and I'm leaning forward. That might be why. Okay, what next? Oh, I love that color. Oh my goodness. Olive green. Juniper green. I'm torn as to whether I should be shaking these or not. Just feel like I should be shaking that pigment in, but also I think I need to start opening them up not over the paper surface. I think the droppers are dropping little bits. Uh-oh. This dropper is clogged. I don't really want to take the time to... Yeah, so these obviously have been damaged by time, and I'm sure it didn't do them any good sitting in that sunlight. So this is juniper green. Wow, another gorgeous color. My goodness, if you were an illustrator, these would be great colors to play with. I'm using a Meeden brush. I'm not sure if I said that in the beginning. It just felt like it was the right size to use. Most of my watercolor brushes are either bigger or smaller. Look at that color. Wow. Okay, and then this is True Blue. Seems like 2 drops is plenty to do a swatch. So I've learned, just since I was given these, like I had never used, I said in the other video, I have never used Dr. P.H. Martin's. I think the only Dr. P.H. Martin item that I own is this bleed proof white, which I love. But somebody was telling me that they have the inks. Somebody else was telling me these are dyes, and I know there's other ones that are regular pigment-based watercolors, so I'd be interested in learning more about, have you used these? What's your thoughts on them? Do you like them? What do you like about them? What don't you like about them? Yeah, be interesting to learn a little more about them. I'm not loving this brush. I'm almost thinking of switching. It keeps splitting. Okay. Okay, that was True Blue. And now we're going to go into the oranges. So I'm going to clean my water, and I will be right back. Okay, I've got my clean water, and I'm going to try switching brushes. I just wasn't liking how that Meeden brush was splitting. It's probably a brush that's meant for acrylics or whatever, but we are going to go into the reds now. So this is the Radiant Concentrated, and it's orange. Orange. Maybe that one needed to be shaken. So looking at this one, there's a lot of like pigment crystals. It looks like pigment floating around in there, which makes me wonder if these are totally dye-based. But so this one has been compromised clearly and is not as bright because the pigment is being held up in suspension, and it's not breaking down. It's had plenty of time because I've been shaking them, but we're going to give them grace because we know that they're old and tired, and they've been through a lot, like me, like many of us. All right, Scarlet. Definitely not going to open this over there. This is a synchromatic, so this is transparent. Whoa, squirted out more of that than I meant to. Wow, that looks like a nice rich color. Wow. Oh, that's gorgeous. Wow. Could see painting a Christmas cardinal or Christmas scenes with that gorgeous color. That is strong. That just like dyed my whole bucket of water red. Yeah, that's very strong. I don't want to spill that anywhere because that's super strong. Oh, that is so gorgeous. Wow. There again, it reminds me of the dyes that I use on my silk. Okay, what's the next one? Persimmons. Persimmons. This one has a lot of sediment on the bottom. Was just thinking it could be when I'm shaking these over the page that I'm getting the little bits on there. Oh, that's a nice color. Wow. Not loving this brush for this either. That's pretty. Maybe I'll go back to this brush. Oh, I love that color. Wow. Super pretty. Okay. We are on to Alpine Rose. This one I was really curious about. This one again has a ton of sediment on the bottom that's not mixing in. And some of it mixed in. Let's see what this one looks like. This one's much thicker. I probably should add some distilled water to that one because it came out of the dropper very thick. And it was the reds that had lost a lot of their liquid the day that they were sitting out in the sun at the sale. Again, a gorgeous color. My goodness. You can see it in the cup too. Wow. Okay, we're getting down there. The next one is Moss Rose. Yeah, this one I'm really curious to see the color. Uh-oh, this one's got sediment in it too, so. Okay, Moss Rose. We have been having a problem with Alana barking at chipmunks. She really cannot control herself when it comes to chipmunks. So she is up here with me and she's begging to come up in my lap. 2 more colors, Alana, and then you can come up in my lap. Cherry red. Such bright, vibrant colors. After everything they've been through, this set definitely would not be good for like someone who did really fine illustration. But for someone like me that does mixed media work, the thing that makes them flawed is the thing that I would love to play with, like the chunks of pigment and sediment. You know, that's to me what makes them fun to experiment with. Okay, there's that one, and the next one's black. I gotta see if Dawn can get the cracks out of my chair. The rest of this page is I'll have to use for swatching out something like a gouache or acrylic, because it's got the flecks all over it. Well, this is a very purpley looking black right out of the bottle. Really chromatic. Wow, that is a rich black. Ooh, I might have to fool around with drawing with that with my inks. That is really rich. Very purpley when you reduce it down. Okay, so that is the Dr. P.H. Martin set of colors. Now I'll go change my water again, and I will attempt to get the Paul Rubens one swatched out on another page when this page dries. I don't want to do it on this, started on this page, because there's just too many flecks. I'll have to use this for acrylic or gouache or something. But let me go change my water, clean these little cups up, and then we will do the Paul Rubens. Here's my Yanni bear. Here's my Yanni bear, my Alana bear from above. What a strange shot. Lonnie, can you look at the camera? One more treat. She doesn't understand why I have her locked in the studio with me. She thinks she did something wrong, but she barks too much. She's a Chihuahua mix, and she just barks when I leave her out while I'm trying to film, so I've been locking her in the studio with me. Crazy girl. I love you, though. Okay, let me put her down. The other thing I was going to show you, though, just out of comparison, was these are my silk dyes, obviously dye-based because they're dyes, but there is not a drop of sediment in these. So if those other ones are dye-based, I don't understand what all the sediment is. I wonder if they're partially pigment, partially, don't know. I don't know. I probably should have done a little more research before I swatched them, but be totally frank with you, I didn't have the energy to. So these should be dry enough now that I can flip the page, and then what I have to do is take all these pans out of these little wrappers, which I am sure you guys don't want to watch me do. Bye-bye, everybody. So I will do that, and I will come back when they are all opened. Okay, so there's a little bit of a change in plans on this. I'm going to swatch it out on this instead of the book because I definitely want to have this with the set. I also took them out of the tin so it would be a little less clanky sounds on the video. And I just set them over here, so I'll work from there. Also, my back is getting really tired, and these are all already labeled, so that's part of why I'm doing it this way. Also, I'm really confused about this. After I unwrapped them, I didn't save the wrappers because these were all labeled, so I figured I didn't need them, but I couldn't figure out, these colors obviously were not the last few colors on the list, and I couldn't figure it out. But now that I'm looking at them, I think these are doubles. So I think this is another one of the lemon yellow. I think this is another one of the yellow ochre. This is probably a second ultramarine blue and intense green or emerald green. That's what I think it is. I think these are duplicates, so we won't be swatching those out. Okay, let's see what we get with these. Okay, Chinese white. Oh. Flesh tone. Flesh color, I guess they call it. This is that kind of deformed lemon yellow, but they give you an extra, so lemon yellow hue. And it does give you little boxes that show transparency. It gives you the pigment number. I know a lot of you do really like to have the pigment number, and that makes sense. What I may end up doing, if it looks like this video is going to get too long, is just speed it up and play music while I do this set. So that was Cad Yellow Pale Hue. This is Cad Yellow Hue. Gamboge. Reminds me of Nickel Azo Yellow. Wow. Cad Orange. Cad Red Hue. And Cad Red Deep Hue. That's a vibrant red. We are in such a bad drought here that we are having, our leaves are changing color already, quite dramatically. They're changing color. I mean, we're having real fall color. So this is a alizarin crimson hue. When I finish this swatch sheet, I'll go through and I'll read the colors through again. This one is Rose Madder Hue. And the last one in this row is Permanent Rose. And in case I didn't say in this video, I know I said in the last video, this is their QI, CAI, HUI, 3 words, set. And I do not know how to pronounce that, but that is what this set is called. So I'm not sure if that means this is generation 6 or not, but that's what it's called. Okay, Purple Lake. Bright Purple. Boy, these are rich colors. Deep Purple. Who remembers the band Deep Purple and the song Smoke on the Water? Totally dating myself. If you were born in the 60s, you probably do remember it. And this is cerulean blue. Cobalt blue. It's kind of hard to do on this seam, the way they have it, the card laid out. You're fighting this seam down the middle. Gorgeous colors, though. I can't take that away from them. And they lift really easily out of the pans. I mean, I've always found that with Paul Rubens. They are a pleasure to paint with. This is ultramarine. I forget if I said that. This is intense blue, PB15. So is that phthalo? I'm not good with my pigment numbers. Turquoise blue. Pretty color. Prussian blue. Wow, a lot of blues. I finally switched over to my silver black velvet 1/4 inch brush, because those other brushes just weren't cutting it for watercolor. Okay, sap green. Kind of hard fighting that center line. And emerald green. Intense green. And that's one of the ones they give you a double of. Okay, last row. Hooker's green light. Hooker's green deep. Ooh, that's a nice color. Boy, it is a pretty color set altogether. Viridian green. Okay, so the next one is raw sienna. Yellow ochre. Burnt sienna. Indian red. Raw umber. Van Dyke brown. I'm not a huge fan of Van Dyke brown, but I actually like this one. It's a warm one. Okay, burnt umber. Lamp black. Payne's gray. Okay, that is the last one. The other ones are just duplicates. So that is the set of Paul Rubens 36 watercolor set with 4 extra refill colors. It's a nice set, nice colors. Yeah, I like it. It's a really good versatile set. Good greens, lots of blues, nice warm and cool reds, good range of yellows, and good earth tones. In past sets, I have felt that their earth tones have been too close together in this area, but I feel like there's a difference. You can see the reds in the burnt, like the burnt umber and burnt sienna, definitely lean red, and you can see the cooler values to the Van Dyke brown and raw umber. So yeah, good set. Like it a lot. And just to read through the colors, so we have Chinese white, PW4, flesh color, PW6 and PY42, lemon yellow hue, PY175, cad yellow, pale hue, PY65 and PY175, cadmium yellow hue, PY97, PY65, gamboge hue, PY153, cadmium orange, PO73, PY14, cad red hue, PY149 and PR255, cad red deep hue, PR188 and PR254, alizarin crimson, PR206, rose madder hue, PR206, permanent rose, PV19, purple lake, PR88, bright purple, I'm having trouble reading them, PR122, PV23, deep purple, PV23, PR122, cerulean blue, PB15, cobalt blue hue, PB29, PW5, ultramarine, PB29. I hope you can see this the way I'm holding it. Intense blue, PB15, turquoise blue, PB17, PG7, PB15:3, Prussian blue, PB27, sap green, PG36, PO49, emerald green, PG7, PY175, intense green, PG7 and PY3, and then hooker's green light, PB15, PO49, and PG7, hooker's green deep, PY110, PG7, and what's that? Looks like PB15, Viridian, PB17 and PG7, it looks like. Raw sienna, PY43, PR101, PY42, yellow ochre, PY42, burnt sienna, PR101, Indian red, PR101, raw umber, PBR7 and PY42, Van Dyke brown, PR101 and PBR7, burnt umber, PY42, PBR7, lamp black, PBK7, Payne's gray, PBK11 and PB29. So there are the colors. Here is the snazzy case. I love this case. And there are the colors with the extra row of duplicates. I hope you enjoyed seeing both of these sets. I will link things down in my in the video description below the video, and hop on over to Patreon. There's 2 free videos there, and I'm going to be posting some really fun experimental stuff over there. So come over for a visit and see if you like the first 2 free ones that I posted. my comeback videos. And I hope you have a great creative week. I hope you're enjoying your summer as we head into the end of summer and the beginning of fall. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now. How is this going to work out? How am I going to fit 2 more rows here? Ah, damn. Oh, son of a gun. I just got wicked stung. Oh, darn. I just got wicked stung by something. Jeez, that hurt. Phew. My goodness. Oh, okay. I feel like this is not going that well. Jeez, that hurt. Oh my goodness, that hurt. Wow. Try to scratch the stinger out. Oh. Okay, oh, I gotta tell you, that sting. And honestly, the bug that stung me, I've never seen anything that looked like it before. Very strange looking bug. Good grief. That hurt. Okay, okay, I just looked up at the camera. I really hope I did not have this pulled down. Well, I did those last few. I think I'll cry if I did. I'm so tired. I really hope I didn't do that. Oh dear. Ochre. Yellow ochre. What? Must be the yellow ochre's in the wrong place. It's got to be the wrong place. PBR7 PY42, it looks like. I should have grabbed my magnifying glass. Can't read that one. Can't read if it's 42 or 92. Or just 2. Raw umber, Van Dyke Brown, PR101, and PB. Van Dyke Brown, PR101 and PB47. No. Van Dyke Brown, PR101 and PBR7, Burnt Umber, PY42, PBR.